Do you have a subfloor damp issue that could be causing problems to the structure and to people's health? Then come along with us and we'll give you a rundown on what could be the cause and what you can do to rectify the problem. Let's go. Hey guys, Musa here from Quantum Home Improvements and Solutions. Welcome back. And this is your first time to our channel. It's great having you join us. And today I'm with my good friend Marcel.
Hi everyone.
So you might remember Marcel. Him and I did a video a couple of years ago where we fixed up his bath and we had a mold and mildew issue, and we fixed it up with just fixing up the ventilation. And Marcel, that's 2 years. How's it looking now?
Oh, it's looking great. Haven't seen any signs of mold at all.
Oh, fantastic. So if any of you are interested in seeing that video, I will put a link in the description below. And Marcel and his family are very musical, and they have drums, guitars, keyboards, and I think even one of them sing.
Yes, a few of them actually
Wow.
sing. Yeah, and we might even have a jam later on with a surprise.
I'm looking forward to it. And so Marcel also told me in his studio, which is a basement actually, he's got a bit of water coming through. Now it's not a lot. So these days when people build, when they're excavating into the ground and they're putting a subfloor, they actually tend to use different products. And one technique is also waterproofing on the outside. And that actually is a good way of protecting water from coming through, but also the under slab and all the rest. Now, if you can't do that and the house is an old structure, what you can do is put diversions around the house. And Marcel's got that too. He's got diversions with concrete around the house, and he also has a stormwater pit which takes in the water, and that helps. But there's another issue with water, and it actually refers to the water table. So there is water that flows underground naturally, and that could be an issue. But in this case here, Marcel, you've actually opened this area up, what, about 5 years ago? You concreted the floor?
Yes, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
And so Marcel's issue is very minor, as I said. He did put plastic underneath the concrete. So he's done all the right things, but when it rains excessively, which it has done in the last 3 years, the brickwork actually shows a bit of moisture coming through. And so this area is concreted, but there's other areas that are not. Now, we can't smell much dampness, especially when it doesn't rain, but when it does rain, you smell a little bit. So what we've chosen to do is just use a basic mechanical ventilator. So this is just a wall ventilator made by Blauberg, and they've got a really good reputation. They make really good products. This particular one is a 6-inch, it's 150 mil, and it actually has a high capacity of airflow. So it says here that it's 309 cubic meters of flow within an hour, and that's pretty good. And it's only a 24-watt system, and it'll work up to 45-degree heat. So if it's a hot day, it'll still work pretty well. Now, Marcel also has windows on the opposite side of the room. So what we're going to do is put the ventilator here, which will cause a cross flow. And so on the days when it is raining and it is a little damp in here, that'll easily get rid of all the dampness. And so because it's only 24 watts, it's very energy efficient and it's not very loud. So this is the right product for us. So if you have major subfloor damp issues and it's causing structural problem or health to your family with asthma and other issues, then there are companies that do actually solve these problems by either fixing on the outside or putting mechanical ventilators on the inside with large industrial mechanical ventilators. So Marcel, you ready to get into it?
Let's go.
So this is the mechanical ventilator, and when you buy it, it does not come with a lead. So they do say on the packet that you need to get a qualified electrician to wire it. So I got my very good friend John Mellows from Dampness Air Conditioning to wire this, and now we're ready to go. But first I took a measurement to see what lead size I need, and then I gave him the measurements, and then he cut it to the size. So we have a power point just behind here. Marcel, if you can just plug that in for me. Okay, so now on the other side of this is a staircase going into the house, to the upper floor. And so what we did, we just want to make sure we're going to miss that. And we measured from around this point here, and we measured that point. And so that's where the mechanical ventilator is going to go, in between two bricks, because you don't have many points of actual fixtures, so you can't make it the opening too big. Okay, so now instead of making a big hole here and finding I'm in the wrong place, what I'm going to do is put a pilot hole using this masonry drill bit, and I'm just going to do a hole roughly about here and find out where I actually am placed to make sure that outside is the right position for us. And if there's only a small hole, that's better than having a big hole. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Marcel, it's come through just there. I was actually hoping to get a little bit more across that way so there's no water that bounces up when it rains.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just try to get across a little bit more.
I think so.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so Marcel, this is the original hole, and so now we're one brick across. So what I would suggest that we make this ventilator just go right there like that. Is that okay?
So, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not too high, and also we've got a lot of clearance.
Good clearance.
Yeah. Okay, so now I've just ruled the line going by the level, and I've measured it out to exactly 150 mil. I'm going to this side of the brick, so I'm going to go past the mortar here and go straight down. So we're going to do most of the cutting on the outside. The inside basically is just describe it. So when I'm going from the outside and I start hitting the brick through, it doesn't blow out from this end because the bricks will shatter if once you hit from the other side. So I am going to stay under the mortar on the top. And as I said, I'm going to go on the outside of the mortar on the sides. Okay, so we're going to make a lot of dust using the grinder now. So Marcel very cleverly bought some drop sheets, which we're going to stick to this beam here just to reduce the amount of dust that we create. Okay, so now we're ready to grind it, but I've got to say, one of the biggest killers in the building industry is silicosis. And so you do need to wear respiratory masks when you're cutting through any kind of masonry, any kind of tile, bricks, anything that creates dust. All right, so I'll put this on. Okay, so now we're ready. Marcel made a very good point. We are going to have a lot of dust in here. So what we're going to do is put the vacuum cleaner on while I'm grinding, and he's going to try to collect as much dust as possible. All right, we'll get into it. Okay, that turned out well. So I've gone a little bit over just on the sides here, but that will be covered by the fan. Okay, so now we'll go outside and we'll do the rest. All right, so I'll just measure this out. From this side, 150, and this side, 150. Now, once again, we'll just rule that. Fantastic. So now these bricks are roughly around about 50 to 60 years old, if not more. They were predominant in the 60s and probably the 70s, and they come in different type of colors. They are an extruded clay brick, which means they've got a heap of holes in them. That's a good thing for us, but when we're going to do the outside plugs for the vents, it's probably not a good thing, and you'll understand why in a minute. Okay, so that's done. So now I'm just going to use a hammer and an old chisel and just break this through. See how we go through this. All right, so we've taken the first layer off. I'm going to keep doing this until we get to the other side. Okay, so we're about halfway. So another 2 more goes and we'll probably be on the other side. Okay, Marcel, we're done. I'll take this thing off. Fantastic. Now, on the outside, we're going to be putting this vent cover. Now, this thing is brilliant, and it's also made by Blauberg. And what it is, it's basically a ventilator. When the breeze blows through, it opens up, and when the breeze stops, it closes off. And that way, it stops any water from going inside. So I'm just going to test that fits, and that is incredible. Perfect. Okay, so Marcel's cleaned up outside, swept everything down, and then he used the blower and cleaned everything off the brickwork and everything. And so now his wife is going to be very happy. And one thing I've got to mention, I did forget to put my earmuffs on when I was using the grinder. I had a lot on my mind, a lot of things to do, and I forgot. And it's very easy to forget, but you shouldn't. Anyway, so now it's time to put the ventilator on. Just try that. And that looks fantastic. All right, so now what we're going to do is take the cover off. That just clicks off. And we put this in place. Now there's 4 holes, there's a hole in each corner. And what we've got to do is plug that into the wall. First I'm just going to balance it out. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now I'm going to mark out every corner. There we go. Okay, so now I've got my masonry drill, and this is a 6mm. I'm going to be using green plugs here. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure this fits. Beautiful. Now, one thing when you're drilling into masonry, into bricks, this can slip around. So you've got to make sure if it does slip, try to re-alter it. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I am drilling on an angle because this is the mortar right here, and I'm going into the top of the brick, the very top of it, which is awkward to do, but I did get it, which is good. Now, I'll just do these ones. No, didn't work. Okay, so this one's broken off. Okay. Okay, so that should still work. There we go. Yep, it's on an angle, but hopefully I can make that work. Okay, so now I'm ready to put the fan on, but one thing I want to show you before I do, there's a piece of plastic behind here, and it's permanently on. And so I'm going to ask Marcel to turn the fan on, and I'm going to show you what happens. Okay, so when the fan is on, it pushes outwards. Now when the fan is off, Marcel, if you can turn it back off, what happens is it comes back, so that stops any insects or any weather blowing through to a minor level. Okay, so now just screw it in. There we go. Okay, it's done. Marcel, if you can pass me the cover, please. Oh, fantastic. Hey, I'll get you to put it on in a sec. Yeah, it's on. If you can put the power on. Beautiful, that's working beautifully. And so here, there's an LED light that comes on to indicate that it is on, just in case you can't hear it from a distance. So yeah, so the curtain's usually here. So when Marcel uses it, he'll have to drag the curtains back. The ventilator itself is 100mm, so 105 actually, which means that this lip is too long. They're exact same sizes, which means one does not go into the other. So we're going to have to cut this off all the way around, leaving only 5mm. Okay, so I'll just do that now, and this time I'll remember my earmuffs. Okay, there we go. So now the plastic melts, so what happens is you're going to have to break the plastic off, but it gives a nice clean finish when it does break off. Okay, that looks fantastic. And so about 5mm around, all the way around. Okay, so now with this plastic cover, because I've had to cut off that 30mm off the edge of this, this is not going to work anymore. So as it blows, it's going to hit inside, which is going to fault it. So I'm going to have to take this off. Okay, so we've just discovered a bit of an issue. The holes are right in the corner here, and this is not the same outer dimensions as this ventilator, which means that the holes are right in here in the void of where we've cut. So what we've actually decided to do is make new holes on the outside and just drill through the side of the bricks. Then we're going to go down a little bit because we don't want to go into the mortar, we want to go into the brick. So we're going to come down probably down to here. So I've marked it out, and so now I'm just going to quickly drill it out. Okay, so whenever you drill 20 mil close to the edge, it'll always blow out. I've got to be very careful and just do this very, very gently. Okay, so I said earlier that being extruded, there's an advantage, which is when you're grinding, there's less material you have to grind through because you've got that extrusion through. Now, the disadvantage is when you're putting your plugs in, as you just saw, it will blow out because there's holes in there. It makes it a lot weaker. Okay, so now we're ready to screw it on. Now, Marcel was actually able to find some black screws, which is fantastic, considering you're going to see it from the outside. All right, so now you're going to make sure you put it the right way. So when you turn it, they fall downwards. So you can't put it that way. Okay, it's it. I'll get Marcel to turn the fan on. Beautiful, look at that. How does it sound like in there, Marcel? Fantastic. Okay, so this is done. We're just gonna clean up now and get ready for the guys to jam. Okay, we're back, we're cleaned up. Marcel's looking fantastic. They're ready for a jam, the guys are here. But Marcel did ask me one question about the brickwork when I was cutting into it. I did use a small grinder, and for a reason, the big one wasn't gonna work. So I cut slithers into it. It's an old carpenter's technique. Other industries do use that as well. And so that way I can notch into the brick and not damage the brick and blow it out. And so if you do just a little bit at a time, it is much easier. I did cut from the inside as well. So when I smashed the brick with a hammer in the last section, it came out beautifully. It didn't damage the inner brick. And the whole thing turned out fantastic. I was very happy with it. Marcel, what do you think?
Oh, it's fantastic. Another fantastic job. And it wasn't too exhausting either, was it?
No, it was really good. So Marcel, you said you got a surprise for us. What is it?
Yes, we've got a song especially for Quantum. But can you guess the title?
I'm not sure. I think we should just get into it. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Life can be broken and falling apart. Winds of motion need a heavy kickstart. Take the challenge, make or break. It's up to you. It's better to let's go. Let's fix this thing. Let's go. Let's work it out. Let's go. Let's build our dream. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fix this thing. Let's go. Let's work it out. Let's go. Let's build our dream. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey guys, that was fantastic. Great job. Have you guys been practicing for long?
We haven't practiced this song for too long at all. We've all
Who wrote the song? Who wrote the song?
Myself.
Very good, Marcel. Hey guys, thank you very much. That was fantastic. Thank you. And Matt, your voice is fantastic. This is going to be a big hit, I think. And so a lot of you won't know that my son Michael is actually the guy who recorded all the music for Quantum Home Improvements, the intros, the outros, and all the time lapse. And I do appreciate everything he's done for us.
You're welcome.
So Michael's going to play out the outro for us, but this time on the electric guitar. So that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And if you have any comments at all, please let them below and I will get back to you. And I'd ask you please to consider to subscribe, hit the like button and share this video. And there's many more to come. Thanks guys.
See ya. Bye-bye.
How's your flu going? Are you still coughing? Okay, you do that down. Go up and down.
Yeah.
Now say
yeah.
loompa.
Oompa dee doo. I've got another question for you. What do you get when your kid is a brat? Something like that.
What was that, Anakin? Marcel, what do you think?
Oh, it's fantastic. Another fantastic job. And it wasn't too exhausting either, was
No,
it?
it was really good. That was very funny. It was very, very funny. Fantastic, exhausting. Okay, that was very funny. Hilarious.